Okay, so we were here last August, and have you guys changed anything since then? I know you're working on some kind of hybrid cob building and harvesting. Yep. What have you guys been up to since then?
Planting tons of stuff, and we're working on a cob oven. Then we're going to do a timber frame roof over the cob oven. Just been trying to still spring cleaning mostly.
Because the snow just barely melted just a few weeks ago, right?
Mm-hmm. And once it stops freezing, I'm gonna start plastering my house. And I've been working on rain barrel catchment off my roof so that I can catch a bunch of water. I guess that you were here before my house was even built.
It was only, I think it was only like 2.5, maybe 3 feet tall.
Oh, then we could go look at my house.
Wouldn't that be cool?
I have a whole house now.
And have your fences worked well to keep the deer out?
Well, we don't have it completely fenced off yet, but it has definitely, there's a lot less deer pressure now that we have all the, I mean, they can't get through. When they're in here, they can actually jump over it that way because it's kind of leaning out a little bit, but they can't jump in, it seems. But there's still a part over there that is still open. So.
And you've been working on this for 2 years?
Just about. I mean, Evan's been here for 2 years. I've been here about a year and a half. Roughly.
And you have just experimented to your heart's delight.
Oh yeah. And this year, everything's starting to really pop. There's lots of green stuff. And you can kind of tell the difference between like what was built last year and what was built 2 years ago too. Oh, ducks are laying again. There's a duck sitting on eggs right now.
How fun.
Might get some little ducklings. We have more ducks on the way that we just ordered. And then we planted all these willows and elderberries in here. And this was pretty full just a few weeks ago. You should have came when there was a river running through here.
Yeah.
It was
Waterfall, crazy. The pond down there was like completely full and overflowing out that way.
I'm planting tons of stuff in here and just kind of like letting weeds get big enough that I can chop them down and mulch them. Salsify, and this is a bunch of it was apparently perennial rye, but there's only one rye plant that survived the winter. But if I'm gonna take seeds from that one and see if I can get like a strain of actually perennial rye. And this is a crazy worm trench. We kept red wigglers over the winter just in like little 5-gallon buckets and just kind of fed them, and somehow they didn't freeze. They survived like 15 degrees in 5-gallon buckets. But this year I have these big old trenches that I'm just layering just rotten produce and stuff and throwing leaves and straw on top of them. I wasn't ready for a tour. A little messy. But completely up to the top now. I'm gonna be plastering it pretty soon. Probably gonna do the inside whitewashed and probably the north and west sides whitewashed with lime, just because I was gonna build an earth integrated structure. I wasn't prepared on those sides for the overhang that's needed on a cob wall, so it's a little short on those. So I'm just gonna lime wash it so it doesn't erode as much.
And did you get claustrophobic? I remember thinking when we looked at it before, it looked about the size of an outhouse, not a house. And do you feel claustrophobic in it?
I think it's pretty fine for me.
And it's about what? 8, maybe 10 by 10?
The whole thing is about 8 by 8, but then the walls are about a foot thick, at least on the bottom, so it's about 7.5, 7 by 7. I felt claustrophobic when Paul came in. It's a bachelor pad, for sure.
Can we see the inside?
Yeah,
Are you
sure.
okay with that?
That's cool. Lots of crazy stuff going on. I can show you my definitely not a hangout spot for sure.
It's a place for someone who loves to work outdoors,
Yeah, definitely.
right?
Mm-hmm. So I've got this Rumford fireplace in here. And this is what I heated the place with the whole year. It works pretty well. It did smoke a little bit, obviously, but that was mostly at the beginning of the year when I didn't know how to burn it.
Mm-hmm.
And the key was to put the sticks going vertical. But this year I'm gonna put another piece right here,
Mm-hmm.
so that, because this almost creates like a secondary competing chimney.
Oh.
So but there's a Rumford has a ledge up here inside,
Uh-huh.
so it circles the air and makes it come out. So
How interesting.
in the winter it burned pretty well. Like there wasn't a lot of smoke that came out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So when you got it going, it was still real cold though.
Right. So you had, what was your lowest temp while you were in here?
Oh, probably about the temperature outside.
Really? So you just kept that thing cranked up?
I mean, I didn't really mind it. I just kind of said, I started a fire in the morning and at night and cooked on it and then went outside.
And you have fun little ledges. I mean, even if you don't
Yeah.
cook in here, you have a nice window, several nice windows.
Yeah, and when I plaster it all, I'm going to put more shelving. I would definitely recommend planting shelving in a cob structure.
Because it's so much easier to set it when it's wet.
Yeah.
I love your little shelves. And so having your bed up so high, any heat you did capture
Yeah,
went
definitely.
straight to you.
Yeah, it went straight up on here. I did have trouble though putting a ladder right here.
Oh no.
If it gets too low, it smashes the window. So.
Well, things you learn, right?
Yeah. Oh, and I'm still making this, but I've got this, it's an all wooden latch.
Cool.
So I still needed to make the doorknob and all that. But
This is awesome.
this is what I'm cooking on now. And it's super efficient, like probably that many sticks.
Yeah.
Handful of sticks, and I can cook just about anything on this guy. I need to find, the plan is I have a Lorena in there, but over the winter I didn't really even use it, so I'm thinking that I'm gonna break all that Lorena up and put the Lorena out here. And a Lorena is just basically kind of like this, but it's just made out of mud, and so it'll be just kind of like a little rocket stove out here made of mud that comes up to here. Have a little counter.
And you have all these little retaining walls everywhere with growies in them.
This one I built this before I even started on the house because there was a big pile of dirt here that was slumping in. So I put these up real fast and now it's starting to slowly come out. So I just started this today, putting a little rock retaining wall. And then it'll actually end up having more space to grow stuff because this will come down and there'll be a little bit more of a slope to it. And it'll be way more convenient to just pick herbs and things right at the doorstep too.
Perfect.
Yeah. I just counted this. It's probably 60 square feet less. Just this one terrace, and there's probably I think there is 26 different species of plants. Probably half of them are edible plants, and I guess I can explain the rain barrels. There's going to be 2 more, but I just kind of did like little log cabin style. I was just experimenting with dovetail notches and saddle notches. So these will eventually it'll run down into here and it'll come, and then there'll be an overflow into this swale. Depending on how much overflow I get, I might put a little pond down there just to catch, or just like a little crater garden down in there. I've got little nuthatches living in the birdhouse right there. Little Thorns and Kulo. But they seem to enjoy.